Hello again, YouTube, and welcome back to Scenes Memories of the Starry Sky. My name is MS-Punker1, and last video we finally we sat down with Chihaya's dad and started our negotiation about settling things once and for all here, hopefully. We have told him about everything we found, the evidence against him, and what we got out of Kido. So hopefully he will be smart here. And at least now, towards the end of the last video, he was somewhat smart, since he now actually realized that Kido isn't a suitable partner for Chihaya. So yeah, let's just hope that he actually continues to use his brain. Or his heart, or whatever, which part is the best choice here. Claudia sunk deeply into the sofa, and for a moment looked up at the ceiling.
今となってはやつも所詮私の名前が入った名刺で小遣いを稼ぐのが精一杯の男だったかと評価を改めるしかなさそうだ。
Oh, his title? He had been performing the job of Representative Holyo's secretary, a job that bear the weight of his reputation. I was sure the responsibilities and abilities desired of him obviously came with its fair share of difficulties, but maybe that had led to those around him being hardly accommodating. That may have caused both his associates and Kido himself to overestimate his capabilities. I had recalled hearing stories about people who had tried to seek similar treatment from their business contacts, even after they had retired from a large company and gone independent, only for those contacts to refuse to deal with them. It wasn't that they thought highly of the individual, but of his organization. They were simply paying respect to his title and the reputation it carried.
あいつは自分を作詞と自負していたようだが、作詞作に溺れるの典型だな。状況を利用し、場当たり的にあちこち焚きつけ、混乱の中から自分の利益になりそうな情報やものだけをかすめ取る。ただの火付けだったということだ。
That was a metaphor I could agree with wholeheartedly. Now that I knew he had picked up the key at the site of the accident.
これまではそのやり方でたまたまうまく運んだというだけだ。綱渡りでも白氷の上でも何でもいいが。その際どさゆえに一度ボロを出してしまえばこうして簡単に足元をすくわれる。
お父様のように周到に根回しをされるやり方とは対極だったんですね。
そうでもない。
There was a tingle of something bitter in Hojo's voice.
私とて若い頃は手痛い失敗を繰り返した。そこで経験を積み学んだからこそ今の自分がある。だからこそ木戸が今後どう動くかによってまた手を打たねばならん。忠道さんがいい例だ。こうして最後には私を弾劾できるだけの証拠をつかんだ。他でもない私が実権を失わせたはずなのにな。
Hojo placed his hand down vigorously on top of a stack of copies before him. A mild yet sharp whop echoes through the room.
強固な意志があればどんな状況に陥ろうと失敗を糧にして盛り返すことはできる。そういうものだ。
By some chance, did Hojo have a high opinion of grandfather Hojo? Or maybe he had felt they were similar in a way. That was how he made it sound, even as he called him his adversary.
木戸にもまだ可能性はあるだろう。今回の件を糧として再びのし上がってこないとも限らん。
Just like Hojo had crawled his way up, maybe. But I had to wonder about Kido. He had taken hold of his weakness, and we had even gotten a hold of inheritance he had hoped to put to use. If that was all he had in him, or so I wanted to think.
このまま落ちぶれるのであれば本当にそれまでの男だ。だからといって奴をあまり追い詰めるな。自暴自棄になられても面倒だ。
それは困りました。私もうあの方の頬を思い切り叩いてしまいましたよ。
手を挙げたのか。原因はそうか、これか。
Hojo looked at the evidence he still had in his hand. It happened when we got the key and opened the door to the basement. In fact, that certainly felt like the finishing blow.
ただの血は喧嘩です。フィアンセとの。理由としてはその方がよろしいかと。
Hojo groaned at Chihiya's comment, almost like he was annoyed by her decision, but he had no choice but to accept it.
それで婚約を破棄しろか。性格の不一致とでも理由をつけて。
はい、そのようにお願いできれば。
なるほど。奴がおとなしく引き下がっている上、しばらく自宅での勤務を申し出てきたのはそういう理由か。
Talking remote.
ああ、自主隔離だの、廊下で転んだだの。奴にしてはお粗末な言い訳を並び立てるので妙だと感じていた。
He sighed and turned to Chihaya with an indescribable expression.
次から顔はやめておけ。次があればだが。目立つ場所に分かりやすい傷があれば、私が殴ったなどと誤解や憶測で物を口にする連中も必ず出てくる。
それは思い至りませんでした。気をつけます。ですが あの人が私を怒らせなければ済む話でもあります。
二度と会いたくもないという口ぶりだな。
Chihaya silently nodded, and Hojo crossed his arms, seeming thoughtful.
あれは見栄えばかり気にする男だから、しばらく人前に出てこれないだろう。その間に婚約を解消する方向へ持っていくことは確かに可能ではある。
Oh, she finally got him going down that train of thought. Whatever it was, his respect for Grandfather Hojo, his disappointment towards Kido, or the bluff Chihaya had put her cell phone on the line to tell that had called it. As long as Hojo's mind could be changed, and she could lead this towards the conclusion that we both wished for.
まったく、ただでさえ奴の代わりに伊勢の負担が増えてしまっているというのに。
The Ise family had it rough too. The Hojo father and daughter kept relying on the Ise parent and child, but I guess I wasn't in any position to say that when I had been asking Hinata for favors constantly these days. On top of that, this would force him to spend even more of his time on cancelling Chihiya's engagement. I'm truly sorry, Ise-san. Ise.
仮にだ。私がそのように動けば、この証拠は処分してもらえるのかな？
He must have pulled himself together and straightened himself upright. The way he treated it as equivalent exchange without so much trying to butter her up, especially when his own weakness, the stack of papers highlighting his fraudulent activities, was sitting right in front of him. Was impressive in its own right. However, we had anticipated the conversation would trend in this direction. This was a point both sides had to watch out for. The moment when I was thought we had accomplished our goal and dropped our guard. That's when the other party would likely strike.
まだ一つ目です。
Chihaya recited the line she had practiced before today's meeting, and Hojo's eyes widened in annoyance.
どういう意味だ？
Suggesting that we still had other demands after the fact would ordinarily be cowardly tactic. But this was Hojo. We were dealing with defend him. We were desperate. We were mimicking Kido and Hojo's art of conversation. The technique in which they would disregard the other person's feelings or impressions and speak with the sole intent to make them accept their demand. To negotiate also required tactics designed to lordster the other party and deprive them of their calm judgment. The technique Shunyo suggested we use.
お父様はあずさを裏切り、おじい様を裏切り、私も裏切りました。3つの裏切りです。詳しい内容まで述べなくてもお分かりですよね。となれば 要求すべき事柄も3点、いえ3人分になるのではないかと。
He failed to help his daughter and had outstayed his benefactor and had infringed on Chihaya's respect. That would more or less cover it. The problem was just how guilty Hojo personally felt for each of those points. Let me think. He had offered Azusa financial assistance, but who knew if that was for the sake of appearances or self-interest.
里見あずささんからは僭越ながら私が交渉を代理するよう本人より直接委ねられています。おじい様から同様の承諾をいただくのは叶いませんけれど。
Grandfather Hojo had passed on after all. In Azusa's case, we had fully explained everything to her and gotten her consent. This wasn't the same as the time prior where Chihaya had accepted Hojo's demands under her own sole judgment.
遺産として託された不正の証拠を使って交渉するのだから忠道さんの同意も得ているのも同然というわけか。欲張るじゃないか。
Oh, Hojo sounded rather amused when he said that. He hadn't expected that sort of reaction. He put together in a plot where Chihaya would negotiate instead of me. She would place 3 demands instead of 1, and would take him by surprise with a barrage of questions to push the negotiation in our favor. Had he recognized that? Had he recovered so quickly?
ルナにはすでに謝罪と保証の意思を示しているつもりだが、それでは不足か？
逆です。むしろ過剰で不要だと。
The look on Hojo's face said he couldn't comprehend the meaning behind Chihaya's words. However, with hesitance, Chihaya continued her explanation.
彼女はあくまで不干渉を望んでいます。本人曰く。
To put it exactly how she had phrased it, it was painful for her to be a daughter who regarded him as a father. Even so, it should have been Chihaya's sense of responsibility that the big sister should protect their little sister. That had motivated her to say all of this.
あのおじさんからは何も受け取らないだそうです。
The fact that Susa had only called him that man seemed to mean she had settled this already. She recognized him as her father, but didn't want or need for anything more from him than to be left alone. Susa had said that she gazed up at the ceiling covered in stars.
望んでもいいならこの部屋は残しておいてほしいけど。無理にとは言わない。私にはこの鍵があれば十分だから。 じいさんの気持ちも高谷がくれた優しさも全部これに詰まってる気がするから。ペンダントにしていつも身につけておく。それなら勝手にこの部屋を開けられる心配もないでしょ。最悪他の条件で何か妥協しなくちゃいけなくなっても届けてもらったこの鍵だけは渡さない。そこだけは絶対に譲れない。かけがえのないものってそうすることだと思う。彼女を清掃の具にしないためにも公に干渉するのは控えるべきと私も思います。彼女の希望通りに。
Okay, I was wondering, what is she talking about? But then I had to read it for myself again and think as so she's saying that openly or publicly Hojo can't speak or be seen with Azusa, because if he does, then she will do something against him. Chihiya's tone was firm, exemplifying that this was her primary point. I could sense the intensity of her desire. I wanted to make Azusa into my replacement. If he would let Azusa's wish come true, then Chihaya was prepared to withdraw her first demand in exchange to break off her engagement with Kido. She had told us that in advance. It was for that same reason that she had kept her distance from me. It was enough if she could get her resolve across to Hojo. If he didn't get the hint, then I would just have to get it across to him with her, even if I had to do it by force. And what are you planning to do in that case?
彼女の希望はただ一つ。思い出の場所を守ることです。おじいさまの意思も踏まえると、旧宅を維持させてほしいというのが2つ目のお願いになります。
それは当初の予定通りカフェとしてか。
はい。私が大学を卒業するまでの間だけでもその形式であの場所を管理させてください。
それでは旧宅と復学望みが2つだ。
復学については婚約を解消という1つ目の願いが叶えばおのずとすることになりませんか。
拡大解釈ではないかな。
見解の相違です。
そうやってさりげなく実際にはいくつもの目論みを盛り込む手法をどこで学んだのだと尋ねたいところだな。
Don't get impatient. Given this ebb and flow, I did think Chihaya was putting in a great effort. So much so that I could feel how sweaty her hand was in mine. Her hand was in... I guess it should be in mine, right? Although the message from Azusa had made Hojo falter for a moment. He was making another comeback. He was in his element now and there was no pause or doubt in the assertions he made. He wanted to support Chihaya, but it was difficult to find the right moment to chime in. I wanted to support Chihaya, but it was difficult to find the right moment to shine in. If I chose poorly, that might put Chihaya into an unfavorable position.
要求が際限なく増えても困るからな。一生たかられるぐらいなら公表できるものなら公表してみろと開き直る選択もこちらにはあり得る。
それは困ります。というか今も困っています。
With that Chihaya sighed. Yeah, that hadn't been an act just now. That was her true genuine reaction. Even after coming this far today, Chihaya was still on the fence about putting on a facade. Now come the third demand.
相手が欲深いのであればこちらも欲深い人間だと思わせた方がお得です。誰しも自分と同じように何か欲があるはずだ。欲望のない人間なんかいないという価値観ですからね。同類だと思わせられれば相手はガードを緩めます。そこをうまくつけば交渉を有利に運べること間違いなしです。それで要求を欲張って3つですか。はい、最悪そのうちの2つまでは諦めても最後の1つを相手に飲ませられれば勝ちぐらいのつもりでいくべきだと思います。最初から1つに絞るよりも確かに確実かもしれませんね。あえて1つ2つ取り下げれば相手にも譲歩したと思わせられて。基本的な方針はそうさせてもらうとしても3つか。決めるのは難しいかも。婚約の破棄とこの場所の維持で2つはもう埋まってるじゃないですか。さっきも言ったけどこの場所については優先順位下げていいから。それはなるべくしたくないかな。私自身の望みは一つだけだけど、
Well, she had told him 2 demands as planned, so I could more or less imagine the last.
お前たちの付き合いを考えれば当然残りの要求は予想できる。やはり水本君との交際を認めろというところなんだろう。婚約の解消とは別問題だからな。
He beat us to the punch, huh? I was sure he was assuming that from Chihiya's perspective, if she could get out of her marriage to Kido, she could be with me without any scruples from anyone. That was what I wanted now too. Spare me from ever being banned from seeing her or having to silently stand by and watch her marry another person ever again. Whether she pretended that as one of the demands, or if we could manage to sneak it past in the confusion from her engagement being cancelled, we could make that gamble. Couldn't make that gamble anymore. That would definitely be a difficult decision for Chihaya to make, since she wanted to prioritize Azusa's request. This might put us in a poor bargaining position. Oh?
交際を認めろ?
Ah, come on, Chihaya. You're kinda dropping everything now. Why did she look flabbergasted?
すみません。私、純也とのお付き合いについては、お父様の許可をいただくまでもなく、するつもりですけど。
Eh? Både both we and her father are like that. What did you just say? I couldn't help but audibly react, and Hojo looked positively dumbfounded. His mouth was gaping like a fish, if you would. Oh, was Chihaya's statement just now that had broken through Hojo's rock-solid fortifications and taking him by surprise.
だって今後の人生における大前提ですから。私にとっては当たり前のことすぎて。お父様に改めて認めていただく必要なんて考えてもいませんでした。当然おじい様の遺産と引き換えにするつもりもないんですけれど、強いて許可していただくとしたら、そうですね、さすがに結婚についてはお父様にも同意していただく必要があるのかなというぐらいで。
But I was staring back at Hojo with neutral astonishment when he was supposed to be the bad guy here.
私ずっと大学を卒業したらすぐにでも純也のお嫁さんになるつもりでいたんですけれど、どうして2人ともそんなに驚くんですか？特にお父様。私は前々から申し上げていたはずですよ。結婚するなら純也がいいと。なのに重人さんとの婚約をせかして。
確かに聞いてはいたがな。
Hojo had been acting triumphantly until moments ago, with enough momentum behind him to seize the initiative in negotiations.
子供のざれ言だと思っていたぞ。友情と愛情の区別もつかない自分にはよくある勘違いだと。
ひどい。子供の頃から私はずっと真剣です。
狼少年のように軽々と繰り返し口にしていたから、そうは受け取れなかったんだ。
Hojo was being overwhelmed by Chihaya's enthusiasm.
ずっと不思議ではあった。昔からお前はどんなにいい男と会っても興味を示さなかったからな。政治家に限らずスポーツ選手や芸能人、各界の名士やその御曹司、よりどりみどりだというのにだ。誰彼構わず色目を使われてもそれはそれで困るが、なぜ水本君一筋なんだ。
I wanted to know that as well. Enough to even ask his daughter right in front of him.
お父様には到底ご理解いただけないです。
You too, Chihaya. That's when you chose not to explain your reasons and refuse. She wasn't going to give a proper explanation.
私のわがままです。それは 承知しています。でもどうしても純也がいいんです。私は純也だけが欲しいんです。これだけは絶対に譲れません。
And now I had known that, but it had become increasingly apparent to me lately. Yeah, this was probably Chihaya's soul genuinely true. One and only selfish desire to be that person was truly an honor. Seriously. She had dragged Hinata and the others into renovating the old estate into a cafe, and on a near daily basis. And while it may have looked like she made tons of selfish requests, in reality she had gotten engaged like she had been told, and likely would give up on the cafe if she'd been pushed further on the subject too. Chihaya would have claimed it was because she didn't want to be selfish and cause problems for others. She was so sensitive to others' needs that her feelings as far as she was concerned were secondary. So then, if there was anyone in the world who wouldn't care no matter how much trouble she caused them, people like me or Hojo, then wasn't it okay if she insisted on getting what she wanted most here and now, if only this once? And hoped she would use her right to negotiate here today for the sake of her own smile rather than the smiles of others. That was part of the reason I had trusted her with everything. But I hadn't seen this development coming. And I imagined she would announce her desire to marry me so readily, especially in front of her father and without discussing it with me first. Jeez. It surprised me too, you know. This was bad for my heart.
木戸の代わりに水本君を婿に迎えるつもりか。彼は我が家に興味がないようだったが。
Only directed a mighty stare in my direction. It was true that I wasn't after his status or assets. I didn't mean to look down upon Hojo's family reputation either, but I suppose Hojo wasn't amused by my lack of interest.
私もそんなつもりはありません。私がお嫁に行きたいんです。
娘はこう言っているが、実際のところ君自身はどう考えているんだね。
He spurred me on not with his eyes but with his words. If I were to answer honestly, my sentiments might put Chihaya in a bad bargaining position. If I were to lie here, though, it would just be insincere, alright? I'm sorry, but that is true. I don't have any intention of succeeding in the Hojo family. Hojo and Chihaya's shoulders were both quivering from suspense. Probably for different reasons, but I paid them no mind and continued my thoughts. Having them here, how I felt to the very end came first. until a short time ago, I hadn't even given much thought to my future career. I wouldn't deny that I was just going with the flow in the hopes of making a decision by graduation. But now I do intend to succeed the family.
水源堂の2代目かね。
Second head? Oh no, the third. I could sense that Chihaya had wanted to say something once I corrected Hojo's remark. He shifted our joined hands slightly, but then took hold of each of them once more. However, that was a reaction I had expected, so I disregarded it. If anything, Hojo's reaction was the one that had been unexpected.
3代目？なるほどな。
His eyes widened briefly, and he nodded to himself several times. Was he impressed with that answer?
そうか、そう名乗るのか。それが君の矜持かね。
Yes, I would appreciate it if you would take it that way. If there was anything I would refuse to ever give up, this was it. Namely that I was Takaya Mizumoto's little brother, and I would hold that true to the bitter end. Oh, so now I see. I was thinking for the third. Who was the first then? Or second, or whatever. So I'm guessing Junior hero, we see Takaya as the second head. So Dad, Takaya, and now us. So we become the third. Man, though, for a second there I thought he might bark at me, as if I would give my daughter to the son of some general store, and had made a cold sweat down my back. I wondered why that was. It seemed to me like this father and daughter were having backwards reactions. I don't know if this is what is best for her or not. I said aloud, daring to take a quick look at Chihaya for reassurance. At the very least, I never want to do anything to upset her. That's what I believe. This was how I truly felt deep down inside, and couldn't say as much without getting worked up. Even if she were to hypothetically team up with you to misuse her grandfather's inheritance, or to pretend she hadn't seen or read it, I want to protect her. That is just how strong my resolve is. I was too embarrassed to look at Chihaya's flustered face directly, which prompted me to turn my attention back to her father. The very person I had pitted these words against looked exhausted.
なるほど。君は君で、木戸には娘を渡したくない。そのためには手段を選ばない。そういう解釈で構わないかな。
That's right. As for all of this talk about our relationship, or rather marriage, sorry, but we should postpone that topic for now. All that I personally wanted to do here and now was to support and protect Chihaya herself. Nothing more.
君が本当に 千早に固執していたとは意外だよ。
And found myself nearly agreeing with him. Chihaya herself was right next to me, but was she going to let him lead this conversation?
木戸と千早の婚約が決まった時点で君と娘の縁は切れた。そこで君はむしろせいせいしたのではないかと考えていたんだがね。
そんなことあるはずありませんね、純也。
Chihaya took the bait hook, line and sinker. May as well just force a smile and nod.
しかしそうなるとだ、いよいよ拉致が開きそうにないな。北条家を潰したくはない。この点は皆同じ認識のはずだ。だが千早は木戸との結婚を拒否している。一方で千早が結婚を望む水本君もまた婿入りは望んでいない。
This wasn't a preferable situation for anyone. Was that what he was trying to say? I even accepted that he was genuinely at a loss and was trying to give this some serious thought, but maybe it was high time for us to come up with a compromise. Claudio had a limited amount of time he could speak with us, and I don't want this to end on such uncertain terms, like two people parting ways after the feud. Chihaya and Hojo were father and daughter after all.
どうする千早。この問題、三すくみで円満解決には程遠いぞ。
そうでもないんじゃないでしょうか。
Eh? I couldn't help but think, what? I took a peek at her profile and at her unexpected reply to find her expression was exuberantly brimming with confidence.
私、やっと思いつきました。ずっと考えていたんですけれど、決められなかった3つ目の要求について。
Hojo also looked puzzled by Chihiya's flashy smile that was so mishmashed in with setting.
なんだ。要求の権利を放棄してくれてもこちらは構わないぞ。
Is he gonna suggest that we somehow merge the Sugendo and Hojo's? That way I can do both. I can both inherit the store and the Hojo assets.
いいえ、せっかくですから行使させてください。
Then, like she had made an astounding breakthrough, she revealed her plan to us.
私を北条家の後継者として認めてください。
Oh. Yeah, that could work too. And it's actually something that we should have done from the beginning, but I guess since it's Japanese, we are more traditional and women can't really do or are not supposed to do certain things. Huh?
何を言っている。
ですから婿養子を迎えるのではなく、私自身が北条の家を継ぎます。 そしてお父様の地盤も引き継いで政治家として身を立てれば全て丸く収まりませんか？
Well, it would solve the current problem. You don't have to. You don't have to marry Kido. I can still become the successor of the store, and Hojo will have his Sam bloodline continue. Huh? I nearly made a foolish sound when I reached to her reacted to her comment, and Hojo appeared to be equally shocked. No, he was positively dumbstruck.
男でも女でも関係のない時代です。後を継ぐ議員が娘というのも珍しくないのではないかなと。
It was made for someone to succeed the Hojo family as a politician, as a herald name in our city. Might even be necessary to have someone hoisted up onto the so-called plank queen to reassure this city's constituents of the continued prosperity with the Hojo family at its helm. If that means Chihaya would be the person they carried.
純也は水源堂を継いで頑張る。私は北条の家を継いで頑張る。二人で支え合えば両家は安泰。ほら問題ない。
何をいきなり後を継ぐ？これまでそんなこと一度だって口にしてこなかったじゃないか。
Well, because you are more traditional, and as I said before, women aren't supposed to do certain things in traditional families or settings.
はい、今初めて考えましたから。
いや、だからな、お前が。
How you that mask of a politician you are worn so stubbornly until now had flopped off, and you were beginning to seem like a plain old father, you know.
そんな簡単に政治家という仕事を決めるな。道楽で離れを改装して店にするのとはわけが違うんだぞ。
それぐらいはわかります。けれど重人さんはもうお父様の後継者には返り咲けないでしょ。私と結婚しようとしまいと。
それはそうだ。あいつには不満を抱かない程度の給料をくれてはやるが、実権のない事務作業だけをあてがって今後は飼い殺しだな。
Well, I mean, I couldn't pity him since where he's just desserts. He was someone I couldn't forgive simply because of what happened with my brother.
お優しいですね。
あいつを自由の身にしたり公に処分したりするわけにはいかないからな。わかるだろう。
It would be problematic if his dismissal went poorly. Any internal conditions went public. He might take refuge in the opposition part as well.
だいたい政治家は世間が思うほど旨味のある仕事でもない。
Hojo briefly sat up on the only to settle back into the sofa. He looked uncomfortable if nothing else.
少しばかり地位を得たところで 次は延々と続く派閥構想だ。一般企業の重役と変わらん。木戸のように身内から刺される危険もつきまとう。
I don't think Chihaya would hoist Hojo though. Maybe there was a chance someone else would make light of Chihaya and challenge him.
それにだ、有権者からの陳情も際限がない。やれ交通の便を良くしてくれ、暮らしを楽にしてくれ。でも税金は安くしておいてくれと、キリがない。
お父様のご苦労はそばで見させていただいて分かっているつもりです。ですが本心からお父様を頼り慕い助けを求めてきた方だっていらっしゃったではないですか。
I saw now. Chihaya hadn't witnessed only the Hojo family's dark side. She had seen the opposite as well. The way Hojo worked and his good aspects. Was that why she been able to come up with the idea to succeed him?
それに今この場でお仕事の辛い面ばかり挙げられても私に政治家の道を諦めさせようとしてわざと強調しているように聞こえてしまいます。
Very much so. It was like a parent-teacher conference where they were discussing future career paths. Chihaya played the role of a student that aspired to the faultless career path, and Hojo and I were her teacher guardian at a loss for her for how to persuade her otherwise.
だとしてもだ。
But again, I think we have to end it here. This negotiation was longer than I thought, so we have to see its end hopefully in the next video. So I hope you liked this one, and if you did so, leave a like to it as usual, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!